therapeutics of the hypertension. Before going to the cases of the hypertension, let us see the drugs which are used in the management of the hypertension. In the primary prevention, it is categorized as first line therapy and sequential therapy. In the first line therapy, the drug should be single monotherapy. So you can choose one drug, maybe from angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, or from the angiotensin receptor blocker, or from the calcium channel blocker or thiazide diuretics. In the monotherapy, we have to choose only one drug. Start with the only one drug in the first line therapy. If the one drug or monotherapy is found suitable, then continue the same drug. But if the monotherapy or single drug is not found suitable, patient still having the symptoms, then we have to use two drug combination. So we have to add, suppose we are started with the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors or angiotensin receptor blocker, we have to add calcium channel blocker. If we started with the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors or angiotensin receptor blocker, you can add thiazide diuretics. Two drug therapy. Then continue, if the patient get benefits, continue the same regimen. If the patient is not getting the benefits, then we have to add one more drug, and this is called three drug combination. In three drug combination, you can add calcium channel blocker or thiazide diuretics, the one which is not used previously to the regimen. Suppose example here, I have started with the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor and calcium channel blocker. So I will add thiazide here, and it is called three drug combination. Suppose I have started with the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors and thiazide diuretics, I will add calcium channel blocker. So this is called three drug therapy. And if in the three drug therapy, you can also consider beta blocker will be the third drug. Beta blocker will be the third drug, and two should be angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors or angiotensin receptor blocker. We have to take or means we have to take from ACEI or ARB only one, not both. Remember. So we have to consider this A, any one of the A, and plus second drug will be maybe the calcium channel blocker or thiazide diuretic. And third drug we can use beta blocker. And if the patient is not getting the benefit from the three drugs, we can consider it is in the resistance hypertension. And for the resistance hypertension, now the fourth drug combination, then in this fourth drug combination, we can consider now all these three, how three? A considered one, C should be two, and this diuretic will be third, and beta blocker will be fourth. So you have to consider these three plus beta blocker, fourth drug combination in the resistance hypertension. You can consider chlorthalidone instead of hydrochlorothiazide, diuretic. In the thiazide diuretic, instead of the hydrochlorothiazide, you can consider chlorthalidone. You can consider aldosterone antagonist, and you can consider alternative regimen. So this is the sequential therapy and the first line therapy for the primary prevention. If there is any compelling indications for specific pharmacotherapy, if the patient having hypertension with diabetes mellitus, then first line therapy will be A, either angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor or angiotensin receptor blocker. If the patient get benefit from the A, continue the same therapy, same regimen. If the patient is not getting benefit from the A, then you can add calcium channel blocker or thiazide diuretic. If the patient is not getting benefit from this C and D, you can add B, that is beta blocker. If the patient is having compelling indication of chronic kidney disease, just consider A, either angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors or ARB. If the patient is having chronic acute artery disease, first line therapy should be beta blocker with either angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors or angiotensin receptor blocker. If the patient get benefit from the AB, here AB, then you can continue the same regimen. If the patient is not getting benefit from the AB, then you will add D or C. Thiazide diuretic for the BP control and calcium channel blocker for ischemia control. If the patient is having compelling indication of prior ischemic stroke, consider first line therapy, thiazide diuretic with or without A. And if the patient is having left ventricular dysfunction, consider A, B, and D. A, B, D. If patient get benefit from the ABD, continue the same regimen. If the patient didn't get benefit from this regimen, then you can add aldosterone antagonist or hydralazine with isosorbide dinitrate if the race of the patient is black. So this chart is useful for the sequential management of the primary hypertension, or we can say primary prevention with compelling indications. Let us see the cases. Case 1. A 54-year-old woman of African Caribbean origin, the race is black, presented with hypertension 150 by 98 millimeter of Hg. She is overweight and diabetic, treated by metformin. Her normal function and urine analysis are both normal. Should drug therapy be initiated for her hypertension? Obviously, the drug therapy should be initiated as per the guideline of the American Heart Association. And here the blood pressure is 150 by 98 and age is 54. overweight and diabetic, the drug therapy for the hypertension is very important and should be initiated. What is the blood pressure goal for this patient? The goal for this patient blood pressure as per the American Heart Association should be less than 140 systolic blood pressure, and less than 90 should be diastolic blood pressure. If her hypertension was treated with drug, which agents offer particular advantages and which should be avoided? Now, she is diabetic, so should be started with the ACD. A, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor started. The drug therapy should be started with the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. As a monotherapy, if she should get benefit, okay, continue the same drug. If she is not getting benefit, we can add two drug combination. So in the A, we can add C or D, calcium channel blocker or thiazide diuretic, and assess the patient for the same regimen. And as we discussed before, the sequential therapy so should be considered, and avoid the use of patient is diabetic, avoid the use of verapamil, diltiazem, and the verapamil, which is generally we can say a calcium channel blocker from the non pyridine derivatives, and should be avoided for the adverse effect as the calcium channel blocker among the verapamil, as we discussed in the previous session, having the adverse effect of the reflex tachycardia and other cardiovascular conditions. Case 2, a 83-year-old woman with past medical history of hypertension. She has been diagnosed with hypertension for 2 years, and it has been treated with lifestyle modification, that is sodium restrictions and exercise 3 times weekly. Her current blood pressure is 160/78, and when repeated reading, it is the 160/80. All serum laboratory tests are normal. Mention the treatment of hypertension in this patient. Now the age is 83-year-old and she's not taking any medications, just lifestyle modifications, and blood pressure is 160/78. Now, as per the recommendations, if the patient age is above 80 year of age, 80 years of age, they respond to the thiazide and calcium channel blocker as compared to ACD. So here the treatment should include thiazide diuretics and calcium channel blocker. Start with the monotherapy and this small dose. So start with first thiazide diuretic, and the dose should be the small, and at bedtime to avoid orthostatic hypotension. Assess the patient. If patient get benefit, continue the same regimen. If the patient not getting benefit, you can increase the slight dose, and then you can assess further, and you can add calcium channel blocker if not getting the benefits by increasing the dose. How is treatment of hypertension in this patient different from that of younger patient? Here, the goal is less than 150 by 90, and in the younger, the goal is 140 by 90. So diastolic is increased by 10 millimeter of Hg. Let us see the goal here. What is the goal? This is the goal values of the blood pressure. Treating systolic and diastolic blood pressure to target according to Joint National Committee 8 recommendations. If the patient is less than 60 years of age, the goal should be less than, the blood pressure should be less than 140 by 90 millimeter of Hg. If the patient with the diabetes, the goal should be less than 140 by 90. Patient with chronic kidney disease, the goal should be less than 140 by 90. And if the patient is 60 years of age and older, the goal is less than 150 by 90. So this is the goal as compared to adults one. If her hypertension was treated with the drug, which agent offer particular advantage and which should be avoided? Generally, the thiazide diuretics and calcium channel blockers are found to be useful and should be recommended. While the calcium channel blocker, including verapamil, beta blockers, and centrally acting drugs should be avoided in these persons. So, yes, we are discussing here how is the treatment of hypertension in this patient different from that of younger patient, and the goal according to the JNC 8 Joint National Committee 8 recommendation should be less than 150 by 80. Why should initial two drug therapy never be recommended in elderly patients age 75 years or older? The main problem here, the two drug therapy initially should be avoided because of the orthostatic hypotension. Orthostatic hypotension is the main limiting, or we can say main adverse effect of the combination drug therapy. So if we are starting the therapy in the older persons, only monotherapy and with the small dose should be started, and patient should be observed. Initially, the drug should be given at the bedtime to avoid the orthostatic hypotension, and then assess the patient. If patient does not get the benefit, as we discussed before, you can increase the dose slightly or you can add the second drug. Case 3, a 27-year-old woman has normal BP 118/82 when reviewed at 8 weeks of the pregnancy. In the 24th week of the pregnancy, her blood pressure elevated to 155 by 100. So it is under gestational hypertension. What is the likely diagnosis? Gestational hypertension, increase in the blood pressure during the pregnancy. Should she receive the drug treatment? If yes, which drug? If not, how she should be managed? But here, the drug treatment is recommended to avoid the pre-eclampsia and the eclampsia, which is the emergency condition during the pregnancy in which there is increase in the blood pressure with increase in the protein in the urine and maybe the chances of the seizure. So S start with the alpha methyl dopa and the labetalol. Second option available here is labetalol. Alpha methyl dopa and the labetalol should be started to avoid the pre-eclampsia and the eclampsia, which are the emergency conditions. A 73-year-old lady has a long-standing history of hypertension and intolerance to antihypertensive drug. Hydrochlorothiazide was associated with the acute attack of gout. Okay. She developed breathlessness and wheezing while taking atenolol. So beta blocker and thiazide diuretics are contraindicated. Nifedipine causes flushing and headache. Doxazocine was associated with intolerable postural hypotension. 4 weeks earlier, she has been started on enalapril, but was now complaining of dry, persistent cough. As we discussed in the lecture session, the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, including the prils, they develops the dry cough due to formation of the prostaglandins and the bradykinin. Is the patient cough is related to enalapril? Yes, because these drugs develop the formation of prostaglandins and the bradykinin, and this bradykinin is responsible for the cough. What other options are available to control her blood pressure? Now, this is the case of resistance hypertension. And for the resistance hypertension, use appropriate diuretic therapy is recommended. We can increase the dose of hydrochlorothiazide to 50 milligram per day, but it is associated with the gout. Avoid it. Switching the hydrochlorothiazide to the more long-acting chlorthalidone is another possible option to enhance the blood pressure. So if she is getting hydrochlorothiazide was associated with acute attack of gout, she should be switched to the chlorthalidone. Okay. If this hydrochlorothiazide having the problem of the gout, she can switch to the loop diuretic, that is furosemide or torsemide, because in the patient with the stage 4 chronic kidney disease or 5, and if the GFR is less than 30 ml per minute, you can use torsemide. And if these other drugs, examples, the beta blockers is responsible for the breathlessness and the wheezing effects, avoid this drug. And you can also add the aldosterone antagonist, because this is the case of the resistance hypertension. So another options are the hydrochlorothiazide should be switched to the chlorthalidone, and instead of the hydrochlorothiazide, use the loop diuretic or use aldosterone antagonist.